game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go.
Let's just wrap it up with Mikey. I mean, you know, as our thumbnail says, you know, he wants to unify at 135. Robert Easter was in the stands. We're actually talking to Robert Easter, see could we stop by his camp in Toledo. What do you think? I mean, look, because there's not much to say about the performance. It's, you know, it's like you said, he's got 4 punches. He mixes them up, different variations, but he is a master at distance, timing, range, and those 4 punches, you know? So what should he be doing next? I don't know if the fluctuation in weight is safe. At this point, there is no fluctuation, right? He was at 135. He won his title. Since then, he's had 240-pound fights. But if he does decide to unify at 35, like he says, then come back up and unify at 40, there will be a fluctuation going up, going down, going up, going down. Does it eventually hurt him? Will it hurt him now immediately if he attempts to make 35 after 2 fights, which technically could be a year? How long has these 2 fights been at 140, Matt? I mean, when's the last time in months that he's fought at 35?
Well, he fought in January at 140 against Broner, I believe. That was the fight.
No, I know. So I'm saying how many in months since 35?
Since 35?
It's because that is the quote. He says he wants to unify at 35, then come back up to 40 and unify there. So my fear is the fluctuation.
Hold on. I'm trying to ask you a question. His last fight at 35 was the John Zlaticanin, right?
I believe so. That's when he won the 135-pound title.
That we're talking about at least a year. At least a year.
Exactly. That's what I called a year. So I just think that's dangerous. What about you, Doomy? You're the one doing the weight thing. Take yourself off mute, mute face.
Call me mute face. Now I'm looking at the weight fluctuation. I mean, from 135 to 140. What weight does he walk around in? I mean, making weight, the stress of the body is actually.
Well, I mean, let me just interject there and remind you. Yesterday on Showtime on Fight Night, he weighed 147 fight night. So you know, after fight is over, he's gonna let go for a little bit, kick up with the family, easily get to 165, 168.
He wants to go back down to 135, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's at least what Robert Garcia said.
That's another 5 pounds.
No. That's what he said to Jim Gray. He says, I want to go back down to 135 and unify, then move back up and unify the 140 and simultaneously.
I can honestly say that that's not that fluctuation in weight right there, that amount of weight. If he's living a clean life and he's maintaining and he has an actual number he doesn't surpass throughout the year, him and his team can easily do that and fluctuate up and down and not have that negative effect on his body. I mean, it's all about how far you're willing to let yourself go out into the sea. Did you eat the extra tacos? Did you eat the horchata? You know what I'm saying? Did you do all that? Or did you live cleanly and maintain yourself at a certain weight? It's all up to them. I mean, they're pretty smart and, you know, very cerebral, man. The Garcia.
So you don't think it'll affect him then?
It won't affect him. It will affect him depending on his lifestyle and what he's actually allowing himself to balloon up to. But other than that, you look at Floyd, man. Floyd stays in fucking shape all his life, bro. If he has that type of discipline, those pounds are not going to matter.
Yeah, but Floyd is in.
No, so you're talking about fluctuating from 135 to 147 or 135 to 140 and going back and forth?
I'm talking about going. 140. Jesus Christ, I've repeated this 7 times.
I've been going in and out because I had something going on, Ness. I'm sorry I wasn't here. I could not.
The quote is he wants to fight and unify at 35, then move back up while still being the unified champ at 35 to unify at 40 and reign at both divisions.
That's serious.
But didn't he also bring it 147?
He said that will be 3 fights later. Quotes on the thumbnail.
Which I think he's
3 fights. So in 3 fights, he's going to unify 135 and 140 and then 147. I don't think that's happening.
Well, that's actually good because he's steadily moving up.
All right, that's going to happen.
3 fights later technically means 4. So it would be unify with Easter, beat him if he can, go back up, unify with Relic. Heyman will give him a unification with Relic, beat him if he can, and then one more fight to get acclimated to 47. Then the fourth fight is a real 47-pounder. That's 3 fights, and you see me at 47.
I just don't think that happens.
You're a hater.
No, I think probably he ends up staying at 135, and then coming up for like a super fight at 147.
Bro,
I think 140 was a accolade thing. That was him wanting to get that belt. Say, hey, I was champion out these divisions.
Matt, you don't need a fight though, Matt.
Listen, if you're talking about
before he takes a super fight.
If you guys are talking about accolades, buddies, keep in mind, I don't even know because I'm not a historian, but name another fighter that's simultaneously been unified in 2 divisions. He won't be undisputed in 2. He'll be unified and reigning is what he said he wants to do. He wants to be unified and reign.
I think that's very hard to do with men. It's just to do that, and it's just unlikely. I just don't see that. The sanctioning bodies, it's just hard to do.
Whether it happens or not, I think whether it happens or not,
WBC yet for a year. The sanctioning bodies are on his side because they know he's the new dude. Did you see how full San Antonio was?
And how is that good for the division? Because then you're not defending the belt.
But he will because he's coming back now to give you the unification you want.
If you have 2 belts in one division and then 2 belts in another division, you have 2 mandatories in one and 2 mandatories in the other. That's 4 mandatories total.
Sir, let me tell you something.
He fights 4 times a year.
Let me tell you something that you obviously haven't pieced together. Check this out, Doomy.
Yeah.
At 140, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check out all the Heyman power, right? So he could do what I just said. He's obviously they setting it up. Mikey was there. Jim Great.
These fights.
Let me finish, Matt. Can I finish?
No. I'm not saying he can't get these fights. That's not my point. I hope you understand that. I'm saying that time-wise, he's a 2-fight-a-year guy now. Right? The bigger star he gets, the less often he's going to fight, right?
He could choose whatever he does want to do, though.
Brother, he could fight as many times as he wants. Yeah. How many times did Vladimir fight? How many times does Joshua fight? Like
Joshua fights twice a year. What are you talking about?
Whether it's choose to do whatever they want.
Look, whether it could happen or not, what I'm noticing is that the game plan looks solid. I mean, look, you go all the way down to the 135 division, and you steadily start going up in weight. And you fill back up all the way until you get to 147. I mean, I don't think it's a bad plan.
There's nothing steady about 3 fights.
A matter of lifestyle.
There's nothing steady about 3 fights, 4 mandatories in 2 different divisions. Like that's a rough schedule. And I think it's a very unlikely schedule. And I think what's better for Mikey, go and reign in a division. Go and reign in a division. Be a great in a division.
He's making more noise and will make more noise every time whatever announcer says the reigning, defending, never before done, first Mexican in the fucking world in the history of boxing to reign at 135 while simultaneously reigning at 140, the unified at 135 and 140. Mikey goes,
the Conor McGregor of boxing.
San Antonio went crazy. That's right. And that's how Mauro Ronaldo.
Hold on, Conor McGregor never defended his belt, which is another point I'm talking about, which is holding up a division.
Okay,
that will end up holding up a division. It will.
Matt, he's muting your point by telling you last night, Jim, I want to go back and unify with Easter. So he's not holding up a division. Like
no. Yes. My point is, once he is a unified 135-pound champion, and once he's a unified 140-pound champion in this hypothetical world, in this fantasy land, okay, then he will hold up a division because he'll probably be a 2-fight-a-year fighter, maybe 3, and he has 2 mandatories in each division. Naturally speaking, he would probably end up holding up division. That's why most likely this never happens, and this is rare if ever. And when a fighter does move up and become a 2 weight division champion simultaneously, they end up vacating one of the belts. You know why?
It's not an easy task.
It's not smart. The trainers don't advise that.
Pessimistic Matt.
Real quick, B. Pauly on the super chat, $5. Hashtag TBV is TBE. I ain't calling in today, just showing support. Hashtag Bomb Squad. Hashtag Wilder is Killmonger.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
No other sight in the game can see the boxing voice.